you ever had what looks like on paper the perfect life, the perfect job, the wonderful relationship, the healthy kids, the good family dynamic? I don't know. You ever have one of those things that people are like, man, I wish I had that, but deep down, you didn't feel it? Have you ever been proposed to and in such a beautiful way and you were like, why am I feeling this way? I'm not going to say anything. I should be feeling this way. Why am I not feeling that way? It's like the set and the setting are perfect, but the internal clock just won't strike midnight and get you emotionally satiated and in the moment. Have you ever had that? I think that's what is going to come up under this Cancer new moon. I just can't feel it. And why? This is something, whenever you guys come to me and you're like, oh, I know a Cancer. My husband's a Cancer. I've never seen that man cry. Or I'm a Scorpio and I never cry. Pisces placements always cry. But water signs, I always say, especially with Cancers that are the sign of emotions, if they're not crying, they're usually frozen. Water can freeze and then it doesn't sweat or have tears, drops. Who froze them? Who was so cold to them that it made them turn into an ice cube? And now, can we hug them and give them warmth and let them melt so they can cry again? It's always a good gauge. I think this Cancer new moon that has a really interesting aspect to it, given Mercury, planet of thinking, memories, communication, is currently retrograde in the sign of Cancer. And it just so happens on this Cancer new moon, it will be conjunct, sitting right on top of the new moon. So hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Astrology Lounge. I'm your host, Stephanie Powers, and today we're going to discuss the beautiful empty starry sky that you'll see tomorrow on July 14th, 2026, the beautiful, quiet, soft Cancer new moon at 21 degrees Cancer. Remember, every zodiac sign is 0 to 29 degrees, so 21 degrees Cancer is quite in the later half of it. So who might feel this new moon the most? Late degree Aries, Libra. Those are signs that may feel some inner tension to really move and change once this retrograde goes direct. Capricorn will feel something pulling an emotion out, an external event, missing someone, sad about something, or excited, or something new coming in. Some external event could come up around this Cancer new moon for Capricorns. And Cancer placements, of course, this is your fresh start, your chance to hold the magic wand to initiate new beginnings. Scorpio and Pisces placements are trining this new moon, so they could really have supportive energy for changes, for well wishes. And Virgo and Taurus will be sextiling. Those placements are forming a sextile, which means under this new moon, there could be an opportunity. Now, I'd love to look in the past to reflect and give astrology more meaning, to give you some data. The last time we had a Cancer lunar event was January 3rd. So for a lot of us celebrating New Year's Eve, just this past New Year's Eve, you may have noticed a beautiful, big, bright full moon in the sky. And that was because it was the moon building up to the big Cancer full moon on January 3rd, to be exact. But the evening of December 31st, you probably noticed it. So, of course, it may have been a very emotional, maybe some big things happened around that time, but that was a full moon in Cancer. And now we're revisiting themes similar to that, except it's a new moon. So it's softer, it's more gentle. And the fact that it's happening during a Mercury retrograde in Cancer, this is really potent. So I'm going to do my best to describe it to you guys, help you recognize how to use it individually, what we may see collectively, but it's the new moon about the past, childhood memories, mother, father, siblings, old crushes, old friends from high school, middle school, childhood home, where you live. If none of those themes come up, then where you physically live, do you feel emotionally safe there? Do you feel like you belong there? Or maybe it's none of that. Maybe you're just looking at your four walls saying, I have outgrown this space. I'm ready to go. I don't know about you guys. I used to say this a lot when the podcast was called Lightworkers Lounge, but whenever I leave a hotel room or an Airbnb, even if I just stay there for one night to sleep, shower, wake up and go, I always nod in gratitude when I leave and I say thank you. No idea. I was not raised, well, my mom might have mentioned that, but I was not raised religious or spiritual, very much just a free spirit, here to explore everything. It just feels right. I'm huge on feng shui. I've never studied it professionally. I don't have a certification or anything like that. I've never done anything with it. I don't even know how to describe it. I go into a room and it's like something takes over me, and number one, windows cannot be blocked. I've never had curtains. I think they're beautiful. I love them in other places, but my own space, no curtains. Don't want people to see you? I don't care. I don't, even as a Scorpio moon, I don't care. I just can't have things blocking a window. What I won't be able to sleep if I go into an Airbnb and the frame of the bed is up against a window, or, oh, goodness sake, if somebody has like a dresser and a TV on top of the dresser that's blocking a window, oh my gosh, it like puts a bowling ball in my throat. I don't know. If anyone's listening to this and your home looks like that, please don't take offense. It's just, maybe I have a little mild OCD. I just can't. I'm like, pour the natural light in. And I know so many people close blinds for privacy, and you'd think my Scorpio moon would be one of those. It's like I get claustrophobic. So maybe I do have a little phobia going on there. But when I think of all of those things, I think of Cancer. Cancer is the sign that rules the home. And so it could be the more emotional side, which is who is in my home, also who is not that I miss. But it could be the literal living space. If there's ever a time to do some spring cleaning, now is probably the new moon too. Release some old objects or go through your old objects to stir up some memories. I forget who I was talking to about this the other day. I think it was a neighbor that came over, and I was like, do you ever look at old photos of yourself and think, man, I look so good? But in the moment, I was picking myself apart. Like, you got to lose 10 pounds. You got to lose 20 pounds. You look so... But then 5-10 years later, you look at those photos and you think, wow, I was smoking. I looked amazing. Too bad I didn't realize it in the moment. I think that's a feeling we might dissect and look at under this Cancer new moon. And going back to how I opened the episode, married to a great person. Why don't I feel emotionally satisfied? Have an amazing job, great benefits, love the people I work with. Why do I just want to go home and cry every day? I've got the house, I got the car, I got the money. Why do I crave getting away from all of it? So many people would kill to be in my position. Why do I constantly want to get away from it and go somewhere different? There was also something I was watching, I think it was on YouTube, because that's really the only thing I take content on. But it was a woman being interviewed about what it was like to grow up in complete poverty and then experience great wealth. And she was like, everyone has their problems, no doubt. But there's something very interesting about hanging out with poor people versus wealthy people, typically, right? This can be stereotypical, so I know there's nuance to this, but when you go over someone's house that is like super duper nice, there's rooms like that are only reserved for eating a certain meal, china that's only reserved, like those things are special too. But then if you go to someone's house that's kind of run down and you're like, they don't really care. Whatever, just go in the fridge, help yourself, get whatever you want. Don't even worry about, do I take my shoes off? Do I not? Like, there's different energy to it. I think a lot of people feel at home with people that are just like, hey, this is my house. Mi casa, su casa. Come on in, grab yourself something. Don't worry about making a mess. The whole thing's a mess. We'll clean it up later. I always tell the kiddos here, whenever they are like, sorry, I made a mess. Sorry, I spilled that. I was like, hey, it's okay. Sorry, I got chocolate ice cream all over my clothes. I'm like, who cares? That's a sign of a good day. So you got to be careful with that. Not for the kids to just go rage in your house and say, a sign of a good day. But I think it softens the edges of like, I have to be perfect. I have to be clean. I have to do this. It's like, nah, be free. Messes can be cleaned. Eat whatever you want in my really nice car. With my Tesla Model Y, I got the white pleather interior. And so whenever people are like eating or drinking, they always assume like, oh yeah, I can't eat in this car. I'm like, hell no, take them French fries out. Dip them in ketchup. I don't care. Messes can be clean. Have you heard of a magic eraser? It's energy. It's a vibe. Do I feel at home in this space? Do I feel comfortable in this space? I'm sure you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. You can go to like a neighbor's house, friend's house, totally different vibe. Go to this house, so relaxed, feels like you've lived there before. Vibes. That's what this Cancer new moon is all about. I think this Cancer new moon might also ask us to really think about, you guys are going to love this story, oh my God. Think about what you loved to do as a child that you no longer do anymore. Such a cliche, I know, but if there's ever a time to think about it, it is now. Me and Mr. Virgo were talking about what toys did we love to play with as a child. He's a Virgo Sun, Virgo Mercury, Virgo Venus, Virgo Mars, okay? Just and he said his favorite toy when he was little was a vacuum. I was just laughing so hard. I was like, he's like, but it sucked because my mom got it for me because she recognized that I loved cleaning floors. Poor Virgo kids. And so she bought it for me, and I thought it was the best toy ever. I think he even loved the kitchen sets that kids love to play, like chef or cook with. He loved those too. But his dad was like, son's not having that. Just typical cliche Southern man. But he said that was his favorite, and I thought, okay, let me go way back. Oh, I love to play teacher. I would get my stuffed animals lined up. My mom even took me to this specialty teacher store for real teachers to buy supplies. I tested the chalk on all of their different types of chalkboards to make sure I got the right one. Maybe I am Virgo. But I loved teaching my animals. And then I would hand them out fake tests, and then I would collect them and grade them. Wow, that's some serious imagination right there. I don't even think I could do that right now. But I loved it, and I do. I look at this podcast as classes in session. I guess I go to a space where I view all of us sitting in a lounge where it's not a formal desk, although it might be. But we're learning together. And so whenever I meet you guys on readings and you pretty much like go over what you know about your chart with me on Zoom, and I'm like, wow, you're amazing. How did you learn all that? And you're like, well, I listened to your podcast. I am like, I'm so flattered. Holy cow. That means the world to me because podcasting is hard when it's just you, but it's not when you're teaching. I approach this from the space of I'm like a professor and you guys are here to get a degree in astrology and we're learning together because while I study formally and through books, there's nothing like getting to know you guys and having you share your lived experience of your chart because I like have a file in my mind where I tuck away, okay, Libra moons have this very similar experience of all ages, all over the world. So you guys are the best. And honestly, that's one of the many reasons why I don't accept advertising on the podcast because I want to have a way to thank you guys for booking a reading because it's expensive and it's time consuming, but booking one with me because I'm learning. It's such a symbiotic relationship, I feel here. And so I really do credit the success of the lounge to approaching it from that lens. This is a symbiotic relationship. You guys help me learn. I just translate what I'm learning from everything to you guys. And we all just hang out and chat the stars and use them to help understand these crazy creatures called humans. And we live our lives together in peace, hopefully. So that was such a Cancer new moon rant. I have felt this way my whole life. How many times have you heard someone say, that's just who I am. That's just how I've always been. We all say that, right? There's always something like, I've just been a teacher my whole life. I've just loved animals. Loved animals my whole life. This Cancer new moon is asking us to stop letting a feeling define you. It's not saying let go of your love for animals. Not at all. Let go of your love for teaching. Not at all. But where might you have lost connection to those things? Why don't you do those things every day? And you don't have to work as a teacher or work as someone who loves animals, but do you volunteer? Do you at least drop off some supplies in an animal shelter? What are you doing to fulfill that thing that you love, that you were born loving, right? There's a quote I read where, the book's at the house. I'm reading a book, and I am so terrible with titles and authors. I'll go get it tomorrow in the next episode. I'll tell you what it was. But there was a quote in it that says, stop worrying. It probably won't even happen. I know, that doesn't even seem like this magical quote. Like, wow, it's like, duh, Steph. Like, stop worrying. It probably won't even happen. I have this tendency to worry about things a lot, especially with things my heart is so wrapped up in, like family or my animals. My Chiron is in the second house, so I'm always worried that money is just going to snap my fingers and it's going to disappear. And it's just, And so I started saying that quote out loud in my head. I wrote it down. Stop worrying about that. It's probably not even going to happen. I don't know. It just stuck with me. And I thought, here's my Cancer new moon in my third house of the mind. Stop worrying. It probably won't even happen. Now, if I want to go really deep into it, I'm going to go back to all the situations in life where what I worried about did happen. And then look at, hey, I'm okay. Everything's okay. Even though it happened, I have a really good life and I healed from it. So let me let that go. And let me reframe it to, if something happens, boy, am I going to transmute that into something really powerful. I'm going to transmute it into loving even harder, even more. I think that's what this Cancer new moon is asking all of us to do. It's time to stop letting a feeling define us. That's what I think this Cancer new moon is really asking us. Now, let me get my notes out because we are going to go over everything there is to know with this new moon in Cancer. The new moon is connected to Christmas, right? This new moon is connected to this Christmas, not the last one. So on December 23rd, coming right up, we will have a full moon in Cancer. So you guys know what we do around here. We used to call it the Zodiac Garden Beds. I kind of let that one go a little bit, but it still exists. The Zodiac Garden Beds are flourishing this year, by the way. We love gifting all of our neighbors tomatoes and cucumbers. But this new moon has an invisible string to the full moon in Cancer on December 23rd. So you know what we do around here. Write yourself a note that just simply describes, what are you eating today? How are you feeling today? Is your home clean or is it messy today? Do you care? What are you going to donate? And what would you like to buy to make your home more cozy? Who or what do you really feel like you found a home in? Do you feel like you belong in? Just answer quick things like that. Describe what the day feels like. Describe what's your routine at nighttime. What do you love eating for dinner? What's your current favorite junk food that you like to eat? These are Cancer themes. How's it going with mom? How's it going with dad? How are your siblings? Answer questions like that to unwrap on December 23rd under that big full moon in Cancer to see how Cancer energy works within your chart. Answer this. Who do you want to spend holidays with? Holiday season 2026. Who do you hope you are getting a gift from and getting a gift for? Who do you hope you're sharing a meal with? Who do you hope you're getting a kiss under the mistletoe with? How would it feel if you had your dream family and you hosted it at your house? One thing I love about Cancer placements, especially Venus and Cancer, is the mecca of this, is they love themselves some holiday family traditions. It's so beautiful. Gosh, I love it. A lot of people with Sun in the fourth house, Venus in the fourth house, or Cancer Sun, Cancer Venus, they love every Christmas we go to Aspen, or every Christmas we go to this cute little garden store and pick out a Christmas tree after Thanksgiving. Every 4th of July we go to our Aunt Joe's house and I bring the same old blueberry strawberry cake. And they just have these family traditions that are so simple yet stand the test of time. And typically the children or another family member carries it on to the next, and it's just so beautiful. I love things like that. We our thing over here is Saturday nights are family pizza night, so we make a pizza on the Traeger grill, and it's so fun to just walk down to the garden. Everyone picks out their favorite toppings, and it's always pizza night here at the ranch on Saturday nights on the grill. It's so much fun. So think about that under this Cancer new moon. You can start a tradition with a fur baby, with your children. You can start a tradition with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your spouse, anybody that you call family. It could be your neighbors even, but people who feel like home. Start a tradition that stands the test of time, and at least do it until the Cancer full moon on December 23rd and see how it feels. See what it heals. Oh, that was a good one. Okay, you guys know what we do. We love to break it down. What is a new moon? The new moon is planting a seed every month when the sun and the moon meet in the same zodiac sign at the same exact degree. Physically, it's when you see nothing in the sky but beautiful stars. So from Earth, the moon appears dark because the illuminated side is facing away from us. Symbolically, astrologically, this is a cosmic reset button. If a full moon is a harvest, the new moon is a beginning. So a new moon, Astrologically speaking, it's time to start something new, set intentions, make a gentle promise to yourself, ask, what do I want to grow over the next 6 months until the Cancer full moon harvest? This year will be December 23rd. So remember with I'm saying this in air quotes, faded astrology events, you usually don't see immediate results. Sometimes could you? For sure. Other times it takes about 6 months. The last time we had an eclipse was, here she is, March 3rd. It was the full moon eclipse in Virgo, and then we had the new moon eclipse in Aquarius on February 17th. So February 17th to March 3rd was the last time we had an eclipse portal. If you add 6 months to that, April, May, June, July, August, September, we're right around the time where, yes, we're going to have more eclipses, but anything that happened around that time is likely revealing itself right around now. I would say in this moment, we are beginning to harvest those things that the eclipse presented them. So that's the new moon. Now, Cancer, the zodiac sign Cancer, it's the zodiac's caretaker. It's the mom of the friend group. It's ruled by the moon itself. So the moon is most at home in Cancer, which makes this new moon one of the easiest or effortless of the entire year. Cancer rules themes like home, like we said, family, motherhood, pregnancy, childhood. Some people could get pregnant or pregnant with an idea, not always just a physical child, pregnant with an idea under this. Roots, ancestry, private life where you live, or simply a place you go to recharge, right? If Aries, that cardinal fire sign, says, go conquer the world, then Cancer, the cardinal water sign, says, but first, how are things at home? Because we're not going to achieve so much success out in the world, Capricorn Aries, if we don't take care of the space we live first. We cannot harvest the fruits of a tree if we don't go look at the roots and see, are there ants? Does it need nitrogen? Does it need phosphorus? What's going on at the roots? This is Cancer. Cancer reminds us that success means very little if you don't have an emotionally safe interior, like your heart, your soul, your brain, or at home. Or what do they say? What is a classic Capricorn quote? You can reach the top, but what does it mean? If you get to the top, the peak of success, whether it's, I don't know, lots of money. Let's just say it's a ton of money. You reach your success. But what does it mean if you have no one with you to share it with? Well, what does that mean? So Cancer season and Cancer lunar events, retrogrades are always a time for you to say, okay, whoa, where have I been neglecting emotionally myself, but where have I not tended to family? I was thinking about my own Cancer stuff coming up. My bonus boys are getting so big. We put my feet next to our oldest, and they're the same size. We were cracking up, but at the same time, I wanted to go cry because I was like, wow. Oh my gosh, it feels like I just met them and they were in diapers. And then I thought, wait, I haven't traveled with my mom. My mom and I just had so many core memories traveling the whole country together consistently. And then life happened. My brother got disabled. Things just happened. And it feels like the world kind of fell apart around 2016 to 2018, for me anyway. But I was like, man, I'm getting emotional just tapping into it. I was like, I hope before my mom passes or I pass and this era is over that I can take an international trip with her to like Europe or somewhere Europe, maybe Norway, Sweden, Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia, where my great-grandmother is from. Anywhere. I'm just like, I want to be on a plane with my mom. I want to travel with her again. She's just been unable to because of life's responsibilities. But that was my Cancer new moon wish. We'll see. I guess now it's out there in public. But these are the things that are likely to come up during this time frame. Cancer gets us all in the feels, and it's a good thing if you cry. Whenever I do readings with you guys and the tears start to flow, you always apologize, and I apologize too when I cry. Why do we do that? I really, really try to bring awareness to not saying sorry because I think it's so sad that when we begin to cry, we apologize for emotion. I don't know. But I always say, no, please, like, let the tears flow. This is your safe space. Release. This is where you're going to detox, to get it out. I am safe. I do not judge you. I do not, I'm a stranger essentially, even though we are friends because we spend so much time in the airwaves. I get it. I have podcasters I listen to and I'm like, oh, they're my homies. They are my friend. They don't know me, but they know me. It's the airwaves friendship. But cry it out. Let it out. Sob. Ugly cry. Scream cry. Because you feel so good after. The slate is clean and we can pour some fresh water into that cup, right? So collectively, big picture, what we might see, lots of conversations around family values, children, raising children, housing and real estate is likely to be a huge thing that we discuss between now and that Cancer full moon in December. Food and nutrition, especially in schools. I mean, during this 6-month window, school's about to start again. That blows my mind to see the advertisements for back to school. Like, what is going on? I swear this wasn't like this when I was a kid. Like, you don't talk about going back to school until, like, late August. And now it's like, we're out on summer break, 4th of July, back to school, go buy your stuff. This is crazy. Why are we in such a rush to get through things? I don't know. So we could see a lot of conversations around public school, children, housing, the affordable housing. It is pretty crazy out there. I was looking at housing costs around where my mom lives in little tiny Midwest farm town, southern Indiana. You would be shocked to see how much a not so nice little ranch style house costs to rent or to purchase. We were just, daydreaming about, wouldn't it be cool, since we have to drive up there a lot to visit family, like, what if we just had our own little space? What if we bought some land and built ourselves a little, like, tiny house with gardens? My mom could take care of it while we were gone. Oh my gosh, we added everything up and it was like $500,000 in the middle of nowhere. I mean, the only place to grocery shop is Walmart and the dollar store. It's wild. And then, of course, here in Texas, Austin, Texas, it's just astronomical. How do you guys ever, is it just us or does anybody else say, like, how are people affording to live right now? I just looked at health insurance, which is probably something else. Speaking of it, collectively around this new moon, we may have a lot of conversations about that. I was just looking at it for myself because there's a few health things that I really want to get checked out, and I booked myself a dentist appointment because it's been a while and I'm paying out of pocket for that. But I'm just going to say it was $841 a month for me by myself. The deductible wasn't too bad, but I was like, literally, I wanted to get a little MRI on my shoulder because I struggle, I think, with carpal tunnel or like a thoracic issue. So I wanted to go get an MRI, then maybe do physical therapy. And so I added up the cost of all of those things if I paid out of pocket, and it was way cheaper than paying for health insurance. And I was like, this is so weird. And then I used to think, like, yeah, if there's an emergency and I need a very large surgical, hospital bill, I'm screwed. But now that I look at the payment plans that are offered for this stuff, I don't think I am. I think it's cheaper to go to the hospital and be like, hey, for that $100,000 medical bill, can I just go on a payment plan for 7 years? It's cheaper. So it's wild. We are in the wild west of the collective energies right now, but this is what may come up. Women's issues, motherhood, abortion stuff, that might be coming up in the news again. Caring for aging parents is a very big Cancer new moon thing. Community support, a lot of patriotism or conversations about home, family values, country values. People can become a lot more sentimental. Old memories resurfacing, family dynamics becoming more noticeable. It's less about proving yourself and more about asking, where and with whom do I truly feel like I belong? And this could be as big as, I don't want to live in my home country anymore, or my state for us here in the United States. There's a lot stirring about where do I belong? And then there's a lot stirring around how do I become a parent or maintain being a good parent while taking care of my aging parents. I think a lot of people may come up with some feelings they need to release or stuff they need to look at or bring balance to, or just feel and say, this is the current chapter of my life, and just feel around the balance of aging parents, partnership, feeling at home, where they live. It's a really personal new moon. It really is. I mean, Cancer, come on. Cancer is the spectrum of emotions. Cancer is family, home, like you don't mess with family and you need to feel safe where you live. If you don't, it affects everything else. It's a really important new moon. So individually, how can we work with this energy? This is one of the best new moons of the whole year for creating emotional security and safety. So ask yourself, journal on these things, pause the podcast and talk out loud if you're in the car. Ask yourself, where do I feel safest? Where? Just think. Don't think too much about it. Just where do you feel most safest? What does home actually mean to you? What is your perfect definition of home? Who feels like family? Erase the biological connection. What other humans feel like family? Where have you been taking care of everyone else except yourself? Cancer is the ultimate sign that teaches us that cliche lesson, you can't pour from an empty cup. So this is a beautiful new moon to spend quality time with mothers. Call your mother or your auntie, your sister, your best female friend. I'm going to the feminine because Cancer is mother, Capricorn is father. But spend quality time with family, no matter who it is. Cook a comforting meal. Oh, as soon as I finish this, I'm going to start our summer squash and corn chowder. And we're going to dip sourdough in it. And it's going to be so fun. We're going to make mocktails with the garden. I just can't wait. So Cancer. Journal about your childhood, declutter your home, start saving for a house, or get your butt on Zillow and start saving things. You guys should see my Zillow list. Like, I have got some nice homes on there. Don't know if I'll ever afford them, but you know what? Why not dream? There's this, you guys know my obsession with the keys. There's this like 17-acre farm. I'm not kidding. 17. I could be totally off, but it's like 11 to 17. It might even be more. Acre farm right next to Key West. They have got like honeybees. They got swings into the ocean. And for everyone that's like, you can't find nature in Key West, I'm like, look at my Zillow list. It's right here. And sure, it's like $8,000 or $9,000, but I mean, 8 or 9,000 a minute. It's like $8 or $9 million. But you know what? Money is money. It'll appear. Who needs it? This is like me speaking through my gritted teeth and my Chiron in the second house. Money is coming. Money loves me. Money always returns. Rest without feeling guilty. Plant a garden. Make a Zillow list. And you know what? Go see a house. Go tour a house. Go look at it. Even if you can't afford it, go just say like, look at this. A little too low class for my taste. Pretend you have the money. I've always wanted to do that, but I don't want to waste a real estate agent's time. But set intentions around Cancer themes: family, pregnancy, parenting, creating a home, if those are your goals. It can be something even as simple as just washing your sheets, lighting a candle when you haven't before. I can't wait till our home is built because I want to have those like long Roman candles with dinner. Oh, so special. Make your home feel very peaceful. So let's talk about, where's my notes? The aspects in astrology are, how is the rest of the sky playing with this? The rest of the sky is, of course, witnessing this sporting event on the court, but who is on the court playing with it? Well, Mercury Retrograde is going to hit this new moon nearly to the degree. This is an interesting layer, and this one took me a lot of connecting the dots to get ready to explain to you guys, because a new moon is about a new beginning, while Mercury retrograde is about the past and revisiting. So at first glance, they seem like they're pulling in opposite directions, but together, if you look at it from the bigger vantage point, they tell a really coherent story. So a new moon conjunct sitting right on top of Mercury retrograde and Cancer. Normally, this is let's start a new chapter, but Mercury retrograde is saying, not so fast. Before you set that intention, there's something from the past you need to understand. You need to address. So this is a seed of something brand new, but it's mixed with an old seed that's finally ready to grow. This type of aspect often brings unfinished emotional business from the past back to the surface, not to punish us, but to help us move forward with greater clarity. That quote I've said last time, be careful what you wish for because you just might get it. Are you ready to get it? Like truly ready to get it? Is there anything else you need to revisit? All right. What might we see individually with this? Mercury rules the mind, Cancer rules the heart and the emotions. This conjunction asks us to let the two have a conversation. What memory keeps replaying in your mind? What part of your childhood still influences your decisions today? Is there a conversation you need to have, but you've been putting off because it's too emotional? Is there someone you need to forgive? Not forget, don't worry. Scorpio moon sis here. I ain't gonna tell you to forget nothing. But do you need to forget them? Is there a dream you've quietly abandoned that deserves a second chance? Especially ones around home, motherhood, fatherhood, creating a family, buying your dream home, loving where you live. Mercury retrogrades are not always about going backwards. Sometimes they're about returning to the version of yourself that you accidentally left behind. That is the phrase I think perfectly embodies a new moon, new seed, conjunct an old memory, old Mercury. Sometimes it's about returning to the version of yourself you accidentally left behind. Guys, life is life. Life fucking sucks. Sorry, kids. It does. And we set these goals, we have these intentions, and how many times does it go to plan? Rarely ever, right? Sometimes you're doing everything right. You are crossing your T's, dotting your I's, showing up, sacrificing, and then life happens. Kids get sick, parents pass away, partners get disabled, money goes towards an emergency expense, jobs get lost. Life just happens. And we have no choice. We have to abandon an old dream, an old version of ourselves in order to meet the present and handle what we need to handle. And so I think with this Mercury retrograde conjunct the new moon in Cancer that we're being asked to return to a version of ourselves that we had to let go of and we really miss, right? Sometimes, I was talking to my neighbor. Awesome guy, Virgo. He was like, hey, we just got a subwoofer in the back of our Bronco. Do you want to hear it? And I was like, yes. And he's in his early 40s. And we were just jamming out, vibing. And I was like, oh, I live for subwoofers and bass. He's like, me too. And when his wife bought him the subwoofers, he was like, am I too old for this? Like, should I be like outgrowing subwoofers? And I was like, heck no. I was like, look at us just bobbing our heads like, yes, that subwoofer is amazing. He was like, we should never outgrow this, huh? I said, no, we never should. I don't think you should ever outgrow something that gives you such a deep emotional response, whether it's music or art or creativity or a living situation where you live. I think that's what's coming up under this new moon in Cancer is, have you told yourself, becoming a parent, oh my gosh, do you just submit to being a mom and a dad and be like, oh, dad jokes, or oh, I'm a mom, so I'm not cool. Like, no, you're so cool. You're amazing. You're raising a little human. Where have you lost yourself a little bit? Come home to that. You know what we might see collectively and individually? Conversations where people are saying things like, I've actually been thinking about this for years. Or, I've actually always wanted that. I almost got it back in 2016, but it just didn't work out. I've been thinking about this for forever. That's what I think old stories, memories, unresolved issues, lost dreams floating in the wind, they might be boomeranging right back to this time. Especially before all the crazy July astrology. Please go listen to that episode, The Astrology of July 2026. We're here. By the time you guys listen to this, we will be on the runway to that core date. What was it? January. Put me to bed. July 19th to July 23rd. So that is coming up next week. We're building up to it. So things to watch out for, bring awareness to, be careful of, because Mercury is retrograde, emotions and communication can become intertwined. People may take things more personally, be very sensitive, misunderstand each other's intentions. Nostalgia is a very big thing that may come up under this, and there's nothing wrong with a little nostalgia. Who doesn't love a trip down memory lane? But are you going to reach out to old friends, old exes, old family members that you know is just going to turn out the same exact way? And then when Mercury goes direct and it's Leo season, you're like, drama. Why did I do that? God, just caught me in a moment. It was that song. It was those lyrics. Just, dang it. People might have this like remembering events differently than someone else involved. This is a really good time to really listen before reacting. And really, one of my favorite things to do during a conversation is let me reiterate what I heard you just say and correct me if I'm not getting it right. I want to get crystal clear. So, one opportunity that we can get from this combination, right? Cancer being the emotional foundation, Mercury being our thoughts, is that sometimes we think we've moved on from someone, until Mercury retrograde in Cancer gently opens an old drawer, the junk drawer in our heart. Not so we can relive the past, not so we can go back to the past, but so that we can finally clean it out. By the end of this retrograde, and of course this new moon is like the middle point of it, people may find themselves saying stuff like, I didn't realize I was still carrying the weight of that, or I didn't realize how heavy that was. Wow. That's exactly the kind of emotional honesty that makes a Cancer new moon so powerful. So that's the real star of the show, the real aspect that we want to focus on with this new moon in Cancer. But some people might say that Saturn currently in Aries is forming a square, which is tension. They're opponents on the court, if you will, right? If the new moon is a basketball game, then the new moon and Mercury, so the moon and Mercury, they're on the same team wearing these beautiful, like, haint blue jerseys. And then Saturn, Aries, jacked and juicy, red jersey, comes on and is like, oh, you thought this was just going to be looking back in the past? I'm going to make you pissed about something first. I'm going to make you realize where, you lost lots of time to somebody else's dream. Rawr, let's give you some squares. So technically, the new moon's at 21 degrees Cancer. Saturn is at 14 degrees Aries. This is like wide orb, so it's wide but still meaningful. That's why I chose to add it to my notes here. But this, how would I explain this? The Cancer new moon wants us to soften, nurture, feel. Let's all be on the same team. But Saturn in Aries keeps asking, okay, you felt it. What are you going to do about it? Cancer says, feel your emotions and protect your heart. Create safety with where you live. Saturn in Aries says, grow up. That's a very expensive place to live. Are you just going to wish for the money to find itself on your lap? Or are you going to actually go make bold decisions and take risks to go get that money so you can go buy that farm near Key West? What are you going to do? You going to wait for somebody else to give you the money? What are you going to do? Shut up, Saturn. Saturn in Aries says, be courageous. Take responsibility. Keep your heart strong. Protect it. But stop waiting for someone else to rescue you. I know. It would be so nice if the perfect partner could just show up at our door. It would be so nice pregnancy was effortless and easy and there was no pain, nothing. It was just so easy. Oh, wouldn't it be amazing if our parents loved us exactly the way we want to, never fumbled the ball, always made us feel seen and celebrated? Wouldn't that be nice? I always reflect on that. I know my mom did the absolute best that she could with what she had, and I love her so much. But my dad, we won't go there. He's not in my life. That's why I don't talk about having a father. He was an alcoholic. I believe he suffered from bipolar disorder, and it just never worked out. I never felt comfortable with him. Even as a little girl, I didn't want him to hold me. Like, how do you explain that? Little kids are so pure, and I was just 100% give me my mama. I didn't want him to touch me. And I remember, I think my mom either told me or I saw an old VHS where my dad was like, she doesn't like me. I want to be like, no, I don't. I don't. I don't hate you, but we are an energetic mismatch, as my Aquarius mom calls it. It's not that I got beef with you. I don't have any beef with you. I don't even think about you. We're just an energetic mismatch. And I am so in an era where it is the most liberating thing to let people judge me, let people curate a character of me, because I know it is so far from the truth. And the only people I want to fuck with are the ones who have the courage to come get to know me on a personal level. Then you can form your judgments. But other than that, if you don't live near me, if you don't see me every day, you don't know me. And I am not wasting my time to convince you who I am. And I highly encourage you guys to do that, because people are going to forever have opinions. It's so true that people are seeing you through the lens of their past. I swear, this is on theme with the Cancer new moon. People see you through the lens of people who have hurt them from the past. It's so funny. Like, let's just bring in looks into it. I have blonde hair and blue eyes, and I think that look is associated with wealth and privilege. And I'm like, whenever I tell my mom, hey, some people in my podcast comments call me privileged, she cracks up and is like, oh my God. Of course, we all have privilege in some sort of the way, but not me. I wish I did. I wish I would flaunt it and use it. I don't. I can't. But people, I think they get these assumptions about me. I'll never forget when I had an Instagram and I would post a lot of photos in Telluride, because I lived in Rico, which is actually 45 minutes away from Telluride, and I had a room with like 6 people in one house. Not fun. That could be its own podcast episode. But and still pay like a full, I think I paid like $800 or $900 a month or something. Oh my God. To share a kitchen with 6 people. It was crazy, a tiny house, whatever. But people, there was this guy that DM'd me and was like, wow, go figure, like a blonde hair, blue eyed girl living in Telluride. Is this daddy's money? And I was like, oh, is it daddy's money? I wish I had a dad, period. I wish I had any man support me. I don't even think my dad paid child support. Like, I wish, friend. I wish. And I remember when I started dating Mr. Virgo, he was doing well for himself in the construction industry out in the Midland, Texas oil field. And people were saying, are you just using him for his money? I was like, what? Meanwhile, my entire dating history from when I was a teenager on was me paying for the first dates, me buying my own flowers. I'm so embarrassed to admit that, but it just was what it was. Me paying half for absolutely everything. Oh my goodness. Thanks for letting me get that out. But I share this because the square to Saturn and Aries is like, feel the emotions, but take action anyway, right? This isn't a new moon that lets us hide under the blankets and not face things. Cancer hands us the blanket that says, yes, you need to feel safe at home, but you also need to go out there and be a warrior for yourself. Now you're rested. Let's go build a life that makes you feel safe. And this square to Saturn is like, and let's make sure no one can ever take that away from you. Ever. It's a foolproof. So real security comes from trusting yourself enough to be brave and take mature action. I think that this square to Saturn and Aries is really, this new moon square to Saturn and Aries, now we're really talking a different language here, is telling us that you should be able to fall into feminine energy, but you should always be ready to take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's like the example of if you're a stay-at-home parent and you don't have a job, you don't make money, because that's not your job, external job. Your job is the home, which is 100%. I can't believe it is not a paid for, like full 401k retirement job, but it's just not right now. And I think that this square is that energy of, okay, what are my options as an individual? Can I fall into safe feminine energy while being financially okay? Can I still have a life where I am an active caregiver for so many people while remembering who I am as an individual person and going after the things that feel safe and fun and comfortable for me? It's that square, it's tension. It's let me just bring a little bit of awareness to this. And so when we blend those together, it could simply be looking around at the home life and saying, wow, none of this represents who I actually feel like I am inside. I don't feel at home emotionally around this group of people or that family or in my in-laws' family because They are just hell-bent on misunderstanding me. And they don't even want to try to get to know me. They just want to judge and assume, okay, where am I going to pour my energy? It's going to be uncomfortable. People might throw that's your mother, you should always, that's your father, you should make, like, what? I'm supposed to be the one to mend that relationship? I'm sorry, I wasn't born with a job to parent my parents. What? Oh. But can you tell my Chiron's in Cancer? Is it really showing? Is my Scorpio moon showing? When you guys listen to me, what part of my chart is really just like popping out of the speakers into your ear? Is it my Sagittarius sun? I just feel like I'm a walking exclamation point with that one. Is it my, what have you guys called me? You've called me feisty. You've called me a spitfire. You've said my voice put your kids to sleep. All of these are compliments. I love them all, by the way. Really just shining through this. But this is what I can see with that square to Saturn in Aries. Remember, it's a wide orb, so whether or not it's felt intensely, if you're an Aries or a Cancer, Capricorn or a Libra, fellow cardinal sign, probably feel it the most. Everyone else, just pay attention to the individuality aspect of it. Where do you want to pour your energy? Where do you want to start saying no in order to protect your peace? That is something I've learned over the last 6 years with relationships, all of family, friends. My romantic partnership is sometimes saying no, even though you want to say yes to please them, to make them happy and to give, because that's what we're conditioned that love is. Sometimes saying no is the best way to preserve the relationship, even if at first someone takes it offensively. Saying no and setting a boundary can be so healthy and preserve real connection. Neil Strauss, what was his quote? Unspoken expectations are unspoken expectations are premeditated resentments. Unspoken expectations are premeditated resentments. Kaboom! Neil Strauss quote. That is like, I'm done. That's the quote for this. That is the quote for this new moon in Cancer. Figure out what you need to feel safe. Communicate it. Be very open. Lay it out on a piece of paper so that people see it. And don't be afraid to ruffle some feathers in the name of choosing yourself. Because by choosing yourself, you show up as the beautiful matriarch Cancer type to give. Because your cup is so full. And you love it. You love being of service because you are always of service to yourself. Okay, that's all I got. Thanks for hanging out with me in the lounge. We will be back this week to talk about more astrology. I got something cooking in the astrology lounge oven. It's about Pluto and Aquarius. Okay, it's going to take me a while to do, but it's going to be a good one. I'm really excited about this one. So I'll see you guys in the next podcast episode. Sending you so much love and a big hug from Twin Moon Ranch outside of Austin, Texas. I'll see you next time. Bye.